Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Theatre Chat Live. How are we all doing today? I hope everyone's okay, considering the recent announcement from government. Sending all my love to anyone who's feeling really rubbish about it and it's been affected by it. Obviously, it's another blow to the industry. But today we're going to have a good old chat, talk it through. How have you all been? Has anyone been to theatre this week? Because theatres are still open. They're open socially distanced, and they will be throughout the next month or so. So if you've been to theatre, let me know. Let me know what you've seen. Last week, I spoke to Debbie Corrupt from The Prince of Egypt. She's started rehearsals now. I've seen some pictures on her Instagram, which is really exciting. And we also spoke to Kate Pakenham about The Money. She's a producer on the show. Two members of our team went to The Money press performance the other day and they said it was insane. It sounds like there was a lot of drama, and that's what you want from a show, right? If you haven't seen last week's show, you can watch it on IGTV or our YouTube channel. Yes, how are we all doing? So Reza Soph says, I've been to see Amelie the musical twice and I've really enjoyed it. Yes, I saw Amelie. Oh, and someone else has seen Amelie as well. It's stunning. It's very true. It's so stunning. It's really kind of a show that's kind of a bit more different to what you're used to, and having actor musos on stage and beautiful singing, beautiful playing of instruments. Definitely recommend that. What else have you guys been up to? Is there anybody else? It's always good to go to the theatre even though it's sunny. This week there are still some shows opening. So as I was saying a second ago, as you probably know, our full opening date for theatres opening at full capacity has now moved back to the 19th of July, hopefully. So later on in the show, we'll have Emma de Souza, who is the head of media and comms at Society London Theatre, aka my boss, is going to come on and chat a little bit more about what that means for the theatre industry, but also what you guys can do and what we're doing in order to kind of, keep the theatre industry going and support, basically. If you have any questions about kind of reopening or what it means for the industry, don't hesitate to message on the comments, and me and Emma will try and answer them a bit later on when we get to chatting. But for now, let's focus on the positives, because there are still shows open. They're still open socially distanced. So opening this week is The Play That Goes Wrong. We've got Constellations, we've got Happy Days. I'm hoping to go see Constellations on Friday. I know that our team are going to see The Play That Goes Wrong. And Happy Days are going to be doing an Instagram takeover on our channel soon. So, there's still plenty to celebrate. There's still lots of things back on stage. And of course, outdoor theatres and performances are still going ahead. So that kind of leads me on to my first guest. This evening, I'm going to be speaking to Paul Ryan from Iris Theatre. So the Iris Theatre is based in Covent Garden at St Paul's, I just want to make sure, St Paul's Church in Covent Garden. Church. So let's get Paul on to have a little chat. Let's make sure my volume is turned up. Hello.
Hello, so sorry.
You're here,
like
no
I had
worries.
a bit of connection issues there. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thanks so much for having me on.
It's a pleasure. How's your day been? How's it going?
Day's been good. Weather's been nice again. It's nice to have had that run of what it feels like an entire week of brilliant sun and hot weather. So we're just hoping that brilliant weather carries us into the next couple of weeks. But we're getting there. Obviously the festival's opening next Monday, so really excited to sort of move forward and get the ball rolling with it.
Absolutely. So you're artistic director at the Iris Theatre. Can you first of all tell me a little bit about yourself and how your journey to theatre has become? Yes.
So I was born and raised in Salford, up in Manchester, and initially sort of trained to be an actor and worked for about 5 or 6 years. Really, really lucky as an actor, managed to do sort of a lot of different genres and musicals and plays and TV. And I think I always knew I wanted to move into directing. And that opportunity came up for me sort of in my mid-20s, and from that sort of snowballed. And I think the second that I started to direct, always had my eye on the idea of, leading an organization and trying to sort of make an impact and enforce some of the changes that we wanted to see in the industry. So when the job at Iris came up, a fantastic opportunity, a company with a real ethos and identity, not least to say its placement right in the heart of Covent Garden. I, sort of jumped at that opportunity, and I took over at Iris in November 2019, sort of very ambitious and excited, and then sort of very quickly hit by the pandemic, which was an interesting start to life as an artistic director, I suppose.
Absolutely. I imagine it's not been an easy ride for you.
No, I mean, look, like, I think what the pandemic has forced us to do is think about things differently, and I think there's a real positive in that. So actually, although this year has been tremendously difficult for lots of people, not just people in theatre, I think what it's allowed us to do is to really challenge ourselves in the way we make work and the way we do things and the type of work we want to make. So it sounds strange to say it now, but I think when we look back, maybe in a few years, I think it was actually a really important way to start, I think, for our team at Iris, actually, to sort of have that battle.
Absolutely, I can imagine. So we are effectively neighbours. So SOLT, RT, our offices are in Covent Garden as well. And I usually go to the Actors Church to eat my lunch. And I've seen that obviously there's been plays and stuff that go on around there. Can you tell me a little bit more about St. Paul's Church itself and how Iris Theatre has become home? Its home?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the key features about Iris Theatre, is that incredible location. If people don't know, we're the resident theatre company at the Actors Church. So, if you think about where the street performers are in front of that building in Covent Garden Market, we're literally in those incredible gardens behind there. So the company's been going 13, 14 years. Effectively, Dan, the very brilliant founding artistic director, rocked up at the church 14 years ago, asked to do a play. They said yes, and then he just never left, which is sort of a brilliant origin story. And the church have been incredible in terms of the support that they offer Iris. So we have our offices there, and it's sort of where the main body of all of our work is built out of. And I think it's really important that actually, our ethos as a company, which is something that we're genuinely passionate about, this idea of forging opportunities for artists at the very, very beginning of their career. For us, I think the idea that we occupy that space in the middle of Covent Garden, in the shadow of some of the biggest MPOs in the country, is really important. For me, it's vital that there is a space in that postcode for artists who are just starting out and who are trying their hardest to make the best work that they can. So the location is amazing. If you've not been in there, come in, sit down, enjoy the sun. But yeah, I think the location plus the ethos is really important for us.
Absolutely, yeah. You are right in the heart of Theatreland in London, aren't you? And I guess performing, you could technically say you an actor on the West End, because it's kind of the West End. So
well, I mean, we're in the same postcode, and that's what I mean. Yeah. And there's no reason, the artists that we work with, and we say this a lot, just because their early career, it doesn't mean the standard of the work is any less. There's work going on as part of this festival, and the work that we try and program and commission there and make ourselves, absolutely can go toe to toe with some of the buildings that we're in the shadow of, or some of the bigger shows. Absolutely, 100%. So yeah, we're in the West End.
Definitely. Cool. So can you tell me a bit about the summer season? Thankfully for you, the changes of the restrictions hasn't made a difference because it's outside. Mm-hmm. Tell me a bit more about what we can expect.
I mean, yeah, the first thing to say, I think you said it at the top, is, with the frustrating news yesterday, immediately all of our thoughts went to our colleagues and peers within the industry who aren't able to move to full capacity. We're in a really fortunate position that, we're outdoor, we're socially distanced, and that was the plan for the festival anyway. So we're very, very lucky, touch wood. But the festival sort of marks a very different way for Iris and making work during the summer. So this year we're literally throwing the gates open and creating this sort of festival of work, which is a barnstorming celebration of theatre, music and performance. We've commissioned 5 incredible early career companies who are going to be bringing their new work to the gardens. That will include sort of new musicals, new verse plays, a real celebration of storytelling. Also within that, there's lots of brilliant one-off events as well. And then to close out the festival, Iris Theatre's production, sort of our offer to the festival, is a brand new reimagining of the Arthur and Merlin legend, The Sword in the Stone story, which is being written by a brilliant actor and spoken word artist, Reuben Johnson. So that's got elements of music and spoken word, and that's a really brilliant piece for families. And we're looking forward across all of the incredible shows to sort of welcoming that audience back. And we've got 10 shows on sale. I mean, so I could talk for an hour about every single one, but if you check our website.
I was having a look at the website, and it sounds really exciting. If you like new writing, this is definitely the festival for you. Some of the things that I saw that was coming. So the first show is Queen Mab, and is that how you say it, Queen Mab?
Queen Mab, yes. Yeah.
So it's a mythic dream weaver into the mundanity of pandemic life, a coming of age tale for 15-year-olds and 500-year-olds alike. Yes. So that's kind of a bit of a reflection on maybe the last year that we've had, isn't it? And dealing and coping with that.
Of course, I think with all of the work, theatre has to have that politic running through it. There's some connection to the experience that we've just had. I'm not saying that all of these plays are quote unquote COVID plays, but they're not. But they're absolutely dealing with some of the wider themes that we've all gone through over the last 12 months. And Queen Mab is, I think, going to be a really, really special piece, and we're really proud to be opening the festival with it. It's being put together by Flux Theatre, who are a wonderful, really exciting company. And Queen Mab, of course, is the famous character in the Mercutio speech in Romeo and Juliet. This idea of a really magical and mythical being in London 2021. Elements of music, be lovely.
Absolutely. And there's also The Red Side of the Moon, which is a new musical coming, which is by an all-female creative team. So that's very much up my street. That sounds great.
Yeah, the team that was sort of one of the pieces that when it landed to us as part of the submission process, we were just like blown away. And I think Charlotte, our fantastic executive director, has had the vinyl on repeat since we said yes to that one in the office. But the music's really, really stunning. It's a two-hander. It's about 2 female musicians and trying to make it in the music industry, and sort of while audiences are falling in love with them, they're falling in love with each other. So for us, it's a really important piece in terms of love and identity, and using the word pride, but a lot of pride in that story. And as you say, an incredible all-female team making that piece and putting it together. Really lovely to celebrate a brand new British musical as part of this festival.
Absolutely. There's so many shows. We don't have time to speak about them all, unfortunately. But can you tell me a little bit about what you can expect if you've not been to an outdoor performance before, and how that kind of works?
Yeah, I think the way we keep talking about it, I think after the year that we've had, this entire festival is the perfect first step back for audiences. As I say, we're outdoors. A lot of the performances that we have, they're energized, they're built around storytelling, and it's not sort of you sit there and watch us make work. Very much the audience are involved as part of that storytelling. So, hopefully the sun will be out, we'll be in the middle of central London, the bar will be open, drinks in hand. And I think if you look at the work that we've got this summer, there really is something for everyone. So I'd say if you're coming to us for the first time, or if you're wary about coming back to the theatre, I really think our summer festival at Iris could be that perfect first step back. You know, if you love music and storytelling, you know, you'll find a good home.
There's shows for people aged 3 years plus on until whatever age, all the families. So yeah, there really is something for everyone. Awesome. Can you let me know how you can go about getting tickets?
Yeah, so if you head to our website, which is creatively down as www.iristheatre.com, surprisingly, there's a full list of all of the shows that we've got coming up over the summer. There's also, if anybody else is interested in sort of our early career artist development programs, of which we have a number of, there's all of that on our website as well. You know, we pride ourselves on being that home for artists just starting out. So yeah, head to our website, check out the shows, come down, grab a beer, enjoy the sun and the brilliant work.
Sounds so wonderful. Sounds just like what we need. Brilliant. So what I'll do is I'll obviously tag you guys on our Instagram post, so you can go look at their Instagram page and then find their website through there. All the best with opening.
Thank you.
And I'm sure I'll be down to come and watch something. Outdoor theatre is like, I used to do a lot of street theatre when I was younger, so it's very much like in my heart. So I'll definitely be there. It's
going to be really special. We're really proud of it. But thank you for having me on and for taking the time. I hope
no worries.
Well.
See you later.
Great. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That sounds amazing. Oh, I love Theatre Chat Live. I always get so excited talking to everyone about what they're up to and all the things that are happening, even though sometimes it feels like the world is a bit upside down. So yes, what have you been saying? I missed my theatre class. We didn't get to do the play we wrote. Oh, that sounds like such a shame. Hopefully one day you can still perform it. I'm sure there'll be plenty more opportunities where you can be back on stage again. Stacey Love Always says, I love theatre. Stage Door Joe says, I'm so excited for Hairspray to finally open at the London Coliseum after being postponed and delayed for so many months now. Yes, Hairspray reopening is going to be massive. And of course, it is going to be absolutely fabulous. So next up, I'm going to invite on Emma de Souza, who is the Head of Marketing Communications at Society of London Theatre. Hello, Emma, how are you?
Oh, hello, lovely Jess. I'm good, thank you. Very well.
We got on, there was no issues.
I know, who knew?
We were a bit nervous.
Get my technology right for a change.
Emma, of course, you are my manager. You are Head of Marketing and Comms, and I was like writing down a little bio for you, and you are leading the revolution of reopening.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. How are you doing?
I'm all right. It's been quite a stressful 48 hours, and I think, but I'm good. And frankly, the power of positivity, we're so close, I can feel it. So we just have to keep going, celebrate the shows that are able to open, and just try and support those ones impacted by the latest government announcement as much as possible. But yeah, we're just, theatre's in my blood. I just want to get back properly, but we're getting there. We are getting
there. So first of all, I thought, we thought we'd come on and just kind of chat a little bit about what's been going on. And, if anyone has any questions, please pop up in your comments, because we want you guys to feel confident about going back to the theatre and, be up to date with what's going on. So with the recent kind of announcement, what does this mean for theatre at the moment?
Well, I think at the moment, as many of you will know, yesterday, Boris Johnson announced that there's going to be a delay to the easing of restrictions till the 19th of July. So what that really means is the shows that were hoping to come back without social distancing are going to have to put their plans on hold. And I think what's difficult is it's hard for those shows that were planning on returning in the next few weeks. Difficult for the shows that are currently social distancing because they were hoping to be able to increase their capacity because they're selling so well, and also hard for the producers who are going into rehearsals because it's really, really hard to plan when there's so much uncertainty and so much change. So I think that's what the real challenge is for our sector. And so Yeah, that's a difficult, and I think what we're going to need is it's so hard to manage, so we're going to need to be able to get insurance, to be able to actually extend the furlough scheme, to be able to support the sector through this. But I think the good news is, we're still waiting to hear, but many of the shows that were going to be impacted are still going to open, but with social distancing in the first place. And so we're going to have, and also there's some brilliant shows, as we've been covering on your wonderful Back on Stage series, Jess, that are opening. And, you know, I just think there's never been a better time to come and support theatre. So everything that is open, please, please do come and see it, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, Josie says, was Heather's socially distanced, do you know? So as we mentioned, I think a lot of the theatres will be kind of announcing in the next few days what they're going to be up to, and how they're going to be adapting to the changes. So keep on social channels, and they will let you know. And if anything is cancelled or needs to be exchanged, your ticketing provider will be in contact with you. So you don't really need to do anything, just kind of hold tight and we'll let you know when we know. Emma, what can we do to ensure that people feel safe within the theatre?
Well, I think what we have been, as part of my revolution of reopening, has been to launch the See It Safely campaign. So this is an industry mark. And basically, when you see that mark and that tick box, you know that the venue is following all the latest government guidelines. And having been lucky enough, and you'll know this, Jess, to be able to go into theatres, I've never felt more safe. I mean, the brilliant thing about theatres, they are really well organised. We know exactly who's coming in, exactly who's going out. And we've just launched a fabulous film of sort of just showing people exactly what to expect when they come into our theatres. And, you know, the theatre owners are so committed to ensure that people have a really positive experience. They've invested so much in making sure that that whole process, from sort of booking right the way through to leaving after the end of a brilliant night, is as safe and smooth as possible. And so there are some changes. You know, we're now doing contactless ticketing to minimise contact as much as possible. So you will be asked to fill in a form before you get your tickets to say that you have not got COVID or been in contact with anybody with COVID. When you come to the theatre, you will often be asked to have your temperature taken. You will be able, and you have to queue have to come at staggered times. So to try and minimise everybody coming at once, you have a staggered arrival time, and it's beautiful. It's balletic. It's so that everybody sort of actually fills in their seats, and they, you know, there's minimal crossover. However, if you are, you know, what I would say, because I know some people have asked, oh my goodness, if I miss my slot, will I not get in? You know, customer service is absolutely key to all of this. So of course, you know, we will be able to accommodate you, but please, you know, it really, really helps if you can, you know, actually come on your allotted slot, because that just means that we can operate as safely as possible. And when you're in, what you'll see is you'll have, currently while we're socially distancing, there will be seats separate next to you, so you will have distance between you and other people away from your social bubble. They'll also, you will tend to be having, which is rather nice actually, your drinks at your seats, so you can order your drinks so they arrive at your seats, which is rather glorious. And then also at the end of the night, you will be sort of asked to leave, you know, sort of in a structured way. So we are doing everything we can, and of course as well, we're asking everybody to wear face masks, because actually there was a brilliant piece of research from University College London, who had they created this android called Android Lloyd Webber, which just makes me laugh. It's the best headline I've seen in the last few weeks. And basically they tested how, you know, actually, particularly in an indoor venue, if you're wearing a face mask, it really, really does minimise the risk. So we just, you know, and the brilliant thing as well about theatres is we've got these fabulous front of house staff who can ensure that everybody stays safe. And so, you know, what we ask our audience is to obey the rules, wear their face masks, and you can have a fabulous night out in the theatre.
Absolutely. The last few weeks that I've been going, and I've said this kind of every time I've been on here, it is still so much of an enjoyable experience. And it is a special time to go at the moment, I think, because everyone's obviously so desperate to be there. But also, you know, you have those, you have those kind of things where you've got staggered entrance time, so it's not so busy, and you have a bit more, you know, room around you in your seats, free seats next to you. It's a really lovely place to be, as always.
And I've really enjoyed, because you forget how beautiful some of our theatre buildings are. So being able to just come a little bit earlier and really take in that architecture. And it's just, you know, we've all been so restricted in terms of what we can do over the last few months. And there is something so magical. And this is what I love about theatre, is that shared experience and the excitement of being together again. And it's just, you know, I can't tell you, every single person who's going to the theatre now, I mean, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you are real pioneers and we so appreciate it. And I know that every single person who's performing, being able to have that connection again with a live audience is so important. And one of the things we're asking people to do is share their experience with the hashtag back on stage. Jess and I are determined to get this trending, and so we're asking, you know, the cast to share their moments being back. But we would love to, because, you know, everybody that comes is going to be our greatest ambassador. If you've had a positive experience, please share it, because we need, you know, we desperately need our audiences back.
Absolutely.
And, you know, theatre is such a important part of our DNA, and it's just, we, you know, the producers at the moment are taking such a risk putting something back. There's so much uncertainty, and so we are so utterly, you know, really humbled that everybody is coming back. And it's also brilliant. I mean, I took my family to see Everybody's Talking About Jamie a couple of weeks ago, and it was just brilliant. As my husband said, everybody should see this show. It was so fabulous, and they've done some brilliant adaptations for COVID. There's some great COVID sort of jokes in there set in the school, and it's just brilliant. And seeing that, and went to see Amelie, which is just wonderful. Have seen other things, like I went to see Show Must Go On and Roles Never Play. I'm going to go to Juvet. So I feel like I've got, is that right? Did I say that right? Juvet, sorry, I knew that sounds a bit
I know, yeah.
But yes, so I feel like, you know, but again, I'm wanting, you know, I feel really important that for me, you know, one of the perks of our job is we often get freebies, but I feel like I want to be an audience, so I'm paying for my tickets because I just, you know, feel like I want to do absolutely everything I can to support our members as they reopen. And so just, yeah, massive thank you to everybody out there who's buying tickets. That's so important.
Our line is, theatre is nothing without its audiences.
It's nothing.
Thank you to the audience for all the support that you've done throughout the whole year. I mean, it's been
staying with us. It's been
especially
a long ride.
It's been a long ride, and especially even just, you know, seeing your comments on posts that we put out saying how much you miss theatre or how much you are so happy that it's back. It really does make, I mean, we just kind of, we don't just work in marketing, but we're not those actors in the show, and I can imagine those people that actually are in those shows hearing that. It's so reassuring hearing that. So thank you to everyone who kind of takes the time to talk to us and tell us what we're looking forward to. Finally, Emma, one question for you. What show are you most excited to see back on stage?
I am really excited. I'm very excited that it's coming back. Social Listeners is Hairspray. I love Hairspray. I'm not supposed to have a favourite, and I don't have a favourite. I love all shows, but Hairspray has a very special place in my heart, because when it was on a number of years ago and Boris Johnson was mayor, I did something with Hairspray where I got every single dance captain from every single show, and then the top sort of students at dance schools to all come on stage at the London Palladium and actually dance to You Can't Stop the Beat. And I just think, we really need Hairspray at this point in our life. We really need a bit of uplifting, total escapism, You Can't Stop the Beat. And that for me, you know, I just having known how hard, you know what I mean, and how much the producers have gone through to get that show back up and running, I'm just really excited. That'll be the first sort of big new opening, because a lot of the shows that are coming back have, you know, were open and have had to come back, whereas this is the first new show. And I feel like when I went to the launch of that show, it was just before sort of COVID was really, you know, people were really worried, and it just was so exciting. And I thought, this is so brilliant. And yeah, it's amazing that show will be coming back. So I think that's my favourite. But frankly, I love them all. I like plays.
So we're not holding you to it. It's fine.
Not
you can
have more than one. I am the queen of neutral. I can never say, but I am very, very excited about seeing Hairspray. Really.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember I was at the kind of when Lizzie B sang.
Yes.
That was like, it feels so long ago now. If you haven't seen it, it's on our YouTube channel, and I think there's even a snippet of it on our TikTok. It's amazing, and I remember going there and being like, oh my god, Hairspray's back, it's happening. And then we've had to wait so long, and it's finally here.
I know, and Jerry Mitchell, who's the director of that, is just so talented, and just Michael Ball as well. It is such a warm, fabulous show, and Marissa Wallace, I mean, it's got a great cast, and also to see it at the E&O, because that's such an amazing venue, and yeah, so I cannot wait to see that. And it's been really tough, you know, for them, because it's been so sort of stressful with everything that's gone on. So I think anything we, you know, if people can support the shows as they reopen, because it'll make such a difference. And you know what I would say is we've now launched TKTS online, and so what's brilliant is, because one of the things we've done, because we know, you know, flexibility is key at the moment for people, we're going through lots of changes. So if you can't, you know, come to the theatre because you've got COVID, you can exchange your tickets. What that also means is that we sometimes then have tickets available on the day that we wouldn't normally have. So again, totally check out TKTS online for all the latest, you know, offers. I'm really plugging it here, sorry, Jess.
No, but it's your job.
It's my job. It's really worth doing, because you know, again, there's some tickets we wouldn't normally have. So you know, flexibility is key, but just please book tickets and support us.
Yeah, that's what we've missed, a bit of spontaneity, and TKTS do on the day tickets, so you can just wake up one morning, be like, you know what, I'm going to see a show, get your ticket.
Get off that sofa, stop watching Netflix, which is keeping me going, but stop watching Netflix and come. And you know, it's so amazing. It's really weird. I don't know about how you felt, Jess, but it was really weird the first time that I came back into town, because I was really nervous about going on the train, going on the tube. And I was drawn onto the tube because we'd done a partnership with London Underground to do this welcome back, which has made me feel a little bit sick. So I'm thinking, oh goodness, if we have to delay. But actually, all those shows will be back. And it was so weird. It's one of the things that once you've done it, you're like, oh, it's actually fine. This is good. And you see, you know, there's literally hand sanitizers everywhere. And it's amazing as well how, if you don't want to go on the tube, how close all our theatres are. You can walk from any of the mainline stations, and also loads of the bids and sort of areas are doing bicycle things, and you can hire bikes and stuff. So it's just amazing being back in the centre of town. You think, oh, this is great. And now I've done it a couple of times, like, oh, this feels brilliant. So I urge people to just take that leap, come back, and it'll feel great.
Definitely. And if you have any questions about how to get from one theatre to another, I mean, you know, you're probably going to use Google Maps, but we're also here because we do it all the time. And my top tip is, I've been on the tube quite a lot because I've been going to the theatres and have felt quite safe. And there's been some tube journeys where there's been like loads of people, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to wait for the next train to come along, and then the next train is empty. So my top tip when visiting London is have some patience, wait for that next train to come along, and it will be so empty, and you can literally just do a journey without having to see anyone, which is what us Londoners like, right?
And also just walk, you know, get your steps up. It's amazing how close everything is. And also, this is the perfect time to come up to London because it's not as packed. We don't have, you know, as many overseas tourists as we normally have. So it's the great time to come out and support. And I know it's really hot, but actually it's nice and cool in many of our theatres because they're air conditioned. So just, you know, enjoy.
Absolutely. Well, Emma, thank you so much for coming on and having a chat. Best of luck with your revolution.
Oh, we'll get there. I think it's been a long journey, but I feel like, we're delayed, but I think we've just got to hope that actually everybody goes out and gets their vaccines and we really boost that and we are able to properly come back, because my heart goes out to all of those people who are just ready and waiting to get back on stage and just want to, you know, do everything we can to get there. But thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. See you later.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, when we're back, it's going to be loud. We're going to be back full force. How are we all doing? So if you ever have any questions about reopening or, you know, even if you are thinking, oh, I might go out for dinner somewhere, we've got lots of information on our website about the places that you can go to eat before your meal. We've got lots of deals with restaurants in central London where if you show your OLT ticket, you can get a discount. Camille says, I can see a grown-ups programme in the background. Brilliant show. Yes. And I believe Grown Ups is going on tour very soon. So they're still going to be going out and about. As I mentioned, there are some openings happening this week. So we are going to be at Constellations, hopefully, and The Play That Goes Wrong, I believe. And next week, we are hoping to be at Hairspray and Duvet. Lots of stuff going on. Even though it's been pushed back, don't forget that theatre is still back on stage, socially distanced. Great. Well, that's everything for today. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'll see you next week, where we'll be speaking to many more people about fabulous shows that are reopening. See you later.